Hello, this is Mark Herman. This is Pacific War, and this is episode 7 of the series, and likely to be the last one. I think I'll have accomplished what I wanted to with this last little piece. So let me just describe what happened. The last episode, we saw the Battle for Kota Baru. What was a brigade or weakened brigade was beat up, and it's now really a battalion, and subsequently it rallied during the rally phase. So this is a tough battalion. They fought hard, and they're still in the game, as it were. Our invasion of Brunei, the Punjab guys fought hard, but there was losses on both sides, but it was only one battalion, so the Japanese have captured, Miri, and because they now captured a resource space, their strategic initiative went up by 1. So that starts giving you advantages when you have strategic initiative, and the Japanese obviously in this part of the war are going to build up strategic initiative. That's another whole set of rules, but just be aware that that's kind of thing is happening. So the Japanese are gaining momentum now. And then the Japanese launched devastating airstrikes against Manila and Clark. They came ashore at Linguyan Gulf, and they pushed back the Philippine troops there. They successfully landed in southern Luzon. There was a very small naval engagement, which kept the Japanese troops from Palau from actually landing at Davao, but a sub-tender was sunk by air and surface action. And I believe that covers the lot of the advantage phase. So again, naval combat, advantage, bombardment, ground combat. There was a rally, this guy rallied, and now we're into the reaction or the disadvantaged movement and air combat. But because there's no active disadvantaged, no allied units are actually active at this point in time, what that means is that there's nothing they can do right this second. Then comes the joint activation, deactivation cycle. So now here's where, even though they were surprised, now the Allies are going to start to dust themselves off to figure out what they're going to do. I actually have to sit down and figure out what would be a good set of moves at this point. Likely what I would do is I probably would do something in the Philippines has opportunities potentially. So you can only use one HQ, but MacArthur might start getting things going here, or I might try to, it's not yet a lost cause in Malaya, so you might activate, and you can activate 10 points. So the Allies have enough points so you might be able to start to pull. I think I'll start pulling together the Malaya Peninsula defenses. Also, if we wanted to, we could also do stuff with the Dutch, through the Anzac HQ. So, bunch of options of how you want to start responding to this Japanese attack. And over the next few battle cycles, you can use those points used in different HQs. So you could sort of do something to activate a couple of units in Malaya, save some points in the next battle cycle, and get some things going with the Dutch. Save some points, do something, So you have some opportunities to spend points and get things done in different locations. But of course, the Japanese are starting to push hard, and they've got lots of forces. And but I would say that from a ground, I think northern Malaya will fall somewhere in here, and then the question is there a good follow-up attack? And so I'd say I have some reserves, and that's another thing, by the way. If you're going to do a 2-week operation, you don't have to turn everybody on. So I do have some reserve planes that I haven't used yet for the Japanese. I have a couple of ground units that I haven't used yet, and so at this point, and by the way, interestingly, one last thing, the battle for Hong Kong was an interesting one. It was a tough fight, but the Hong Kong garrison didn't fall on the first shot, and there'll be another ground combat this next battle cycle, which will probably do it. But they held up for one good battle against the 38th, which is a very good division. So some interesting narrative coming out of this first battle cycle. So there you have it. I hope this has been gives you a little bit of a flavor, and I would like to reemphasize this is the strategic scenario, and I say this multiple times in multiple ways in the rules. This is really not where you should begin, or you could own this. Like I said, this is the 4th time. I'm going to keep going while it's all set up. It's kind of fun, but you really should focus on Coral Sea and the Guadalcanal campaign and the Malaya campaign. That's really where the game really shines in my regard as far as time to enjoyment, narrative, and all that. But again, you should always know that there is the whole thing, and so this is what the whole thing looks like when you start it. But it's a beast when you get it this big. Otherwise, you're talking about 1/10 the counters in the South Pacific or whatever. So anyway, but at least you've seen it, what it looks like, and how it kind of plays out in the first battle cycle of World War II. So take care, and hopefully if you get the game, you'll enjoy it, and I'll see you online. This is Mark Herman signing off.